You've heard it before. All realtors are created equally, so just hire somebody you know. Hey, what's up, friends? It's Courtney here with the Atkinson Team, serving beautiful Southern Alberta. That's Calgary, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and all parts in between. And I want to tell you why that's a common misconception. Now, the truth is that if you're a realtor, you're licensed to sell real estate by the Canadian Real Estate Association, and in the case of Alberta, the Alberta Real Estate Association and the Real Estate Council of Alberta. And that means that you have a legal and fiduciary obligation to represent the best interest of your clients and to put their needs first and ahead of yours, to do all kinds of reporting and to make sure that there's all kinds of verification, care, and due diligence. In most cases, very much the same as what a lawyer would do. Those things are indeed the same. Now, the differences can be a very, very long list, and I want to illustrate for you just a few things that we do differently on the Atkinson team that can help make a difference in your financial future. Okay. Now, the first thing that comes to mind for me is a campaign that we've just recently wound up. It's called an addressed mail campaign. Now, we've sent it to about 25,000 addresses across Southern Alberta. The truth is that it's very expensive. And what it does is it allows us to reach people who may have some intention in a neighborhood where we have buyers that have expressed interest and see if we can't get an off-market listing for them without a bunch of competition. Okay. The challenge is we've got to work with Canada Post. We've got to work with a third-party provider. We never have the names and addresses of these specific families, but what we do know are the postal codes where we have buyers actively looking unsuccessfully. And so we have the fiduciary duty to do everything possible to help these buyers of ours find properties, even though that includes spending lots and lots of money and using somewhat of an unusual campaign to try to get sellers to put their hand up and say, hey, yeah, do you know what? I am thinking about selling, so that we can have a conversation with them first before that property goes to market, so that we can give our buyers first crack at finding those properties for sale. That's just part of the fiduciary obligation that we have and how seriously we take that here on the Atkinson team. But I'll give you another example. It also happens sometimes where we have a client looking in a neighborhood and the only way that we can get a hold of folks there is by doing cold calling. And we have a very, very cool tool that we have access to at eXp Realty that we use with regularity almost daily, where using the white pages but electronically, we can call through a list of a lot of people very rapidly. And with the scripts that I've trained my team to use, we can help identify sellers and even in some cases buyers of properties that may be looking at trading over the next little while. And again, that's a unique skill, something that we train on our team that is generally not done in the industry. We have a high degree of success with that. We rarely get hung up on it. People are generally very happy to hear from us, and it does provide, again, a great service for the folks that we're serving that we have that fiduciary duty for. Another example might be door knocking. So how we might do that is, say for example, we've got a client who's looking in a particular neighborhood, and again, maybe a property that came up for sale, they were unsuccessful in buying, or maybe there just hasn't been any inventory there for a while. But what I know to be true is that if a property comes up for sale in a neighborhood, there's generally going to be two or a third one that follows that after a little while. And we want to make sure that we're getting ahead of that. Again, giving the advantage to our client and creating opportunities that are unique to them and not open to the rest of the marketplace. And so we'll go ahead and we'll door knock those neighborhoods, and we'll use our scripts and dialogues and skills of conversation to be able to uncover need and help identify potential sellers or other potential folks that are making a move in that neighborhood, so that we can do some matchmaking with the clients, again, who we have that fiduciary duty to represent. And so what I'm hoping to illustrate here is that it's not just as simple as posting a property on the MLS and hoping for the best. The fact is that you want somebody that has systems and strategies and all kinds of solutions to be able to bring you tremendous outcomes when it comes time to buy or sell. Now, these three examples are just a few of the ones that I've illustrated for you, but it's also to do with the systems in the background. And what I want to talk about here is, let's say, for example, that your property is for sale with the Atkinson team. Here's what you might expect. Now, it's very common. If you're to call 3 signs, here's what you'll probably find. 3 for sale signs in any city that you're in right now. One person's not going to answer and not get back to you. The first person's going to get back to you within a half a day, and the third person's going to get back to you typically the next day or that second day. That's a pretty standard thing in the industry. But if you look at this famous study called the MIT Real Estate Lead Study, here's what you're going to find. You're going to find that there's a dramatically higher chance of closing a phone call to an appointment. That's an opportunity if you get a hold of that person in 2 minutes from them inquiring. If you wait 10 minutes, your odds will drop off 32 times. it's almost the same as waiting 2 weeks. And here's the other thing that lead study proves, that in order to be able to get people, if you haven't gotten them on that first phone call, it's going to take at least 5 more phone calls. And you can't have at least a statistical chance of being certain that you're not going to get that person unless you've called at least 7 times, but 10 is the magic number. And so, based on those statistics, here's our strategy. We commit to you, our seller, because we're putting your property on the market. We're syndicating it to hundreds of websites. We're putting it on social media. We've invested thousands of dollars to create this marketing strategy and thousands more to keep it going and to make sure that it's continually active and working for you. But you also got to think about how we're managing the opportunities that we're creating. Are we one of those people that's letting that dial just fall off and not get answered at all? Or are we letting it die for 2 more days? No. You can be guaranteed that what we're doing is getting to those leads within 2 to 5 minutes max, and that the system that we have on our team is that we'll call people 10 times in 14 days, and that we'll text them twice, email them twice, and double tap once in there. And that just means if the person doesn't pick up, you call them right back, because you know that works too, right? That's a really effective strategy of making sure that every single opportunity that we've generated from your listing, from all of the websites that we're advertising on, is being absolutely maximized, and we're not wasting any potential. And it's just really important that you, the consumer, know that these systems are in place, that they're available to you, and that it's not just a matter of having a realtor just, randomly waiting around at their cell phone, potentially picking up or being too busy to pick up because they're at the beach or on the lake or whatever. These systems don't depend on Courtney Atkinson. They depend on a team of 45 agents who understand the system, who are held accountable to it, and know to honor it because it's an extension of our commitment to the client, to you. And we want to make sure that you understand those things when you hire us. You understand what's happening in the background, not just that we have a $500,000 a year marketing budget to work at finding properties for our buyers or to help our sellers sell their properties, but that we also have tremendous systems to make sure that we're maximizing each and every single opportunity that we create with that marketing strategy. And that's to say nothing of the amazing admin team and all the insane customer care that we pour into the relationships that we develop with you and other families just like yours. So I wanted to share some of those things with you because I know, not only from my own experience, but from being a coach and having clients across North America and from being coached by some of the best in the industry, that these are the ways that really high-functioning businesses operate. And this is the level of service that you deserve. And this is suggesting that not every realtor or business is created equally. And I wanted to give you a couple examples of that just for your awareness, and so that you can take that and use that in your decision-making matrix as you move forward and decide who it is that you would like to work with, whether it be your neighbor that you really like or someone like us that has these systems. Whatever it is that appeals to you, it's a free market, and we encourage you to go out there and speak to people, find out what they can do for you, and find someone who can meet your needs in the best way possible. So hope that means something to you. If you have questions, you want to chat more, please do reach out. We would love nothing more than to chat with you. Take good care.